Hi everybody, welcome to Pizzazz News. Today I am very pleased to present the beautiful Anaya Divine. Hello Anaya.
Hi, thank
Hello.
you for that wonderful introduction.
Oh well, I put a little bit of pizzazz and effort into my introductions, just in case I die later. I start off strong.
I love it. I love it so much.
Oh, it's so good to see you. It's so good to see you.
Thank you. It's so good. We've connected so much on social media, on Instagram, so it's good to put a face and the energy behind pizzazz. I love it. I love it.
I know it's so amazing our connection, and we've got so much in fucking common. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
I know.
A lot of it we can't talk about, but it's there.
It's there.
It's there. That's right. We know. We know.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm trying to get people to try to help me sort of like talk about my book, because my book Pizzazz News, it does talk about like a lot of themes, and it's not just about one thing, so it makes it really hard for me to say, well, my book's about this. It's a book about living, and life is a very complex state of affairs.
So true. So true.
That's
That's
what brings me to this. Is drinking, because it's pretty complicated.
Yeah.
And what appealed to me about you is so you're a poetress, so you do poetry, and I genuinely love your poetry. It's really speaks to me. I don't like all poetry, just to put it out there. Not all poetry I get. I can't relate to it. Doesn't mean it's not good, but I like your poetry. And
thank you.
And I love it when you I love seeing your little car things where you speak your poetry too. That's really cool. I like that. I don't drive, so it would make no sense to me to fucking sit in a car. I don't even have one. So I could do it in a taxi or on the bus, but that might be a bit.
I live in my car, so
not so literally.
I mean, not literally. No. But I'm always in there, so it's like, let me take a moment and have a quick car conversation. Just because I'm always doing something. So yeah.
I know you're such a busy person. You do like multiple things. You're amazing, but I knew that about you already. So one of the things that I like about your poetry is you talk about women being empowered and loving themselves, and I'm really big on that self-love concept. I'm a self-love enthusiast.
I love that whole vibe. I love it.
I'm a self-love enthusiast. And I could also say I'm a wanker, as well, but hey, whatever, however you want to put it.
Right.
So, because I really, and I can also see that, like, you connect with your audience, and your audience loves you. They really do. And what's not to love about you? You're fabulous. And I can see it. It's like, oh, the things that I love in her are the things that everyone else loves. She's just herself, and she's really real.
I pride myself on that. You know what I'm saying? On trying to be as authentic as I can be, and share personal triumphs and stuff like that, so that women can see themselves on the other side of whatever they're dealing with. So whether that's loss of a loved one, or loss of a relationship, or motherhood, which is a real hood. You know what I mean? Like whatever that may be. It's about being authentic with yourself and sharing the parts of you that you feel might be able to help somebody else. So that's kind of where I come from.
Yeah, and I think that that's really necessary. It's kind of like you really, because I like to mentor as well, but I choose how I mentor, because I'm also a bit cray. Sometimes I get a bit irritated with people.
I get it.
This is where I couldn't be a social worker or a life coach or any of those things, because I just get frustrated. I'm like, fucking hell. Just fucking leave him. He's a fucking idiot. You know, I've had to listen to you for hours, and we got to the point where you've decided for yourself this is shit, and you're going to leave, and now you've gone back, and I get really frustrated with that. But I think you're the type that would understand it more than me.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I saw a meme on Facebook, and it said, pray for your friends who are in social work, because 99% of the things they want to say, they can't say it. And so I get what you're saying, like 100%, because you can't. I mean, it's like, you know, you're there, you're processing, you're dealing, and you just got to kind of, you know, be in the moment. But the things you're thinking, nobody knows about, you know? So I get it.
Oh, you deal with a lot of cray. It's so
I do.
So I think so. I don't know if I'm right in thinking this. So would your poetry be a way to kind of say the things that you can't directly say to people?
It's my escape. It's my outlet. You know, I mean, you know, when I'm working and things of that nature, I have to be politically correct. You know, I have to say certain things and behave in a certain way. And so my social media, specifically Red Framed Revelations, is just a way for me to kind of be myself 100%. And so, you know, I may cuss some days, I may not, I may, you know, it just really depends on my vibe and how I feel. And if you like it, you know, and if you don't, you don't. I'm completely okay with not being for everybody. You know, I'm fine with that, you know, and that's my space to do that, you know, so that's why I love it so much. And I love my people, you know, I love my loved ones. That's what I call them, my loved ones. I love them all, especially you.
Oh, I love you too. It's a circle of love.
Yes.
I love it. It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's like whenever you put something out, and you do the TikTok thing. I have not even branched into that world yet. I don't know if I will. Yeah. I just feel like, oh God, you know, it just took me this long just to get to Instagram. You know, it took me so many years. It's like, oh fuck, I'm doing web design. I'm doing so much stuff online and writing, and I never get to move. You know, I need to move and get out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But your TikTok just fucking cracks me up. It's just so good. It's like, this is the best. I wish you would do more. It's I think you've got something for everyone. You're similar to me. I got something for everybody. Wait.
We're like a big gumbo pot of goodness, a big gumbo pot of whatever you need. I got it, baby.
Got it going on. I got some pizzazz. I got less pizzazz if it's too much for you. You know, I'd love to give more pizzazz, but maybe it might be offensive to some. But I can't help but sneak it in somewhere. You know.
That's right. You're who you are, you know, authentically, you know. So I'm gonna have to put some more TikToks on there for you now.
Yeah, thank you. Maybe do a shout out. Try and sell my book for me, you know. Hold my book out there and say, oh look.
Right. Now you have some right there.
That's a good business idea. That's a good business idea, isn't it? You could start off with
got something right there. I got you, sugar.
That's it.
Yes.
I don't know if I'll get a bank loan for it, but you know. Oh, I don't think the banks would like that idea very much. And another idea I had was to do like a gift appreciation course, you know, like gifts.
Yeah.
The gifts on social media. It's like I feel like I'm pretty good at that. Better at Twitter than Instagram, which is really hard to do that because it doesn't really allow you to do that, you know, except in messaging. You can do the gifts and things.
I think that'd be good. So get some good ideas.
You got to have a dream.
You have to.
You have to.
It's a must.
It is a must. So you are a social worker. That's one of the things that you also do. So you deal with all kinds of problems people have. You have an understanding, a unique understanding of. So would you say that life isn't always a fucking cabaret, is it?
Oh my gosh, no. I mean, you know, it's amazing. The stories, I mean, you know, the stories of survival, the stories of, you know, trying to figure stuff out, you know, I mean, it humbles you because, you know, you go into work sometimes and, you know, you're dealing with your own stuff, right? And then you have somebody come in who's doing so much, you know, whose life is so much more in pain. You know, there's so much going on, more going on than your life. And so it makes you appreciative. Like there's been so many days that I walk out and I'm like, you know what? I'm grateful because my life isn't perfect, but it's not like that, you know? And so let me do the best I can to help them, you know, to deal and process and be grateful for my little circumstances because, you know, there's always somebody who has it worse, you know, who's going through worse. And it keeps me humble.
I do the same thing too. You know, gratitude is a big thing for me that I've come to really take inside to help me with some of the things that I have to go through in life. It's because if I start to focus on the shit that's happening, that's real and in my face, and not a delusion, but actually happening, shitty shit. It's too much, and I can't function because it just gets overwhelming. So gratitude is it's just a big part of being grateful is also accepting the little good things that I've got going. You know, it could be worse. You know, I always say it could be worse, and I feel quite privileged, you know, to be in Australia. You're in another first world country to America. I mean, imagine if we were like, you know, in some war-torn place like Lebanon, you know?
Yeah.
Where
perspective.
It's perspective. Yeah, we're not refugees on a boat trying to get somewhere. We're not 12-year-olds married to some 40-year-old, you know?
Come on. I mean, when you look at the grand scheme of things, you know, we are really blessed, you know?
We are really blessed.
Yeah, gratitude is big. You know, gratitude changes things. You know, it can take you from being low to just coming up and saying, you know what, and you know, you're high. You know, you're out of whatever slump you're in. You know, gratitude is just, it's a mood changer. You know, and I practice it daily. You know, I do.
Yeah, it is, and gratitude is it's just, you know, like when you're grateful for the little things, it really like me. If I go out and I get earrings, it's a fucking highlight for me. I have an amazing time. It's you know, it's like, hey, I could go out and get earrings.
Me too. Me too. It's the simplest things for me. I mean, it's like, you know, especially when you have kids, you know, you're always putting stuff off, or, you know, when you're taking care of other people, you know, so when I can take a moment to say, okay, you know what, I did something for me.
You did something for you.
A lot.
That's it. And so you've actually got your poetry, you're actually going to compile in a book, aren't you? And you're going to add more things to it. So when
yes.
Well, I want a copy.
So I got to get you.
I want a copy. Okay. Don't say that you've run out or anything, or
never. You're first in line. As soon as I'll be done in December. Hopefully that's the goal. And you know, but you're first in line. I have just, you know, I have truly enjoyed getting to know you. You know, getting to know you. I really you have a very special spirit, and it's amazing, you know, the way you can feel someone's energy even though you're not in the same space, you know, and that's been a blessing for me, you know, for sure.
Yeah, me too. It's really wonderful to connect. It's especially when it happens and you're not expecting it, you know. It's right. When it happens, right. There's something about this person that, you know, that I really like, and I love being able to. What I love about my interviews is I love being able to choose who I connect with. You know, I feel that my interviews are better when I choose, because it's, for some people, they just want me to promote them. And that's fair enough. Like, I want people to promote my book. Go out there, promote my book, whatever, you know, but it can't just be anybody doing it. It has to be someone that kind of connects with you. Because, you know, sometimes it's hard to, it's like what you're saying, when you're doing so many things for other people, and then this is like my little creative outlet that I'm doing for myself. So it was like, I like her. I'm definitely going to win her over with my pizzazz. I'm gonna win her over with my pizzazz. She won't be able to say no. She's gonna come on. I'm gonna get her. It's gonna be good. We're gonna have a drink together, you know, or I'm gonna have a drink by myself, whatever, you know.
Well, I already had one, so you're good. I've already had one.
Well, I'm nearly finished the bottle, so you know, I started a little bit earlier. Okay, so you've got my book, you've got my ebook, so you're still reading that stuff.
Yes. I love what I'm seeing so far. The topics, the pictures. I mean, you really took your time, you know, in putting together a masterpiece. So I'm really excited to finish it up. I really am.
Thank you for saying that. I have to share that what I've learned about the whole publishing process. It's really quite an ordeal, and I was like, I just want this book just done. I just want it done. I don't want to prolong it anymore. I don't want to deal with, just if I can get it done, you know. So I'm lucky that because I'm in web design, I've got people that I know and who are really great with formatting and things, because if I trying to figure it out for myself, I'd probably kill myself. I'd be like, fuck it, no, I can't do it. It's too much, you know.
Yeah. So who did you had some people to help you to get that process done?
Definitely, I did. I have I've got a friend who helped with editing, and and one of the guys that I do a lot of web design work with, he helped me with the formatting. I did the design of the cover, and I chose the photos. I did the I kind of compiled and put it all together. And it wasn't easy because I have all these different themes. You know, it's not like my book isn't kind of like, it's a non-fiction, but it doesn't really sort of like start from when I was born and where I grew up. It's not like that, you know. I just get straight into the big life universe shit, you know. It's like, yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, it's gonna be this and that, and then, you know, and then and then my mother died, and that goes in there, and then fucking the madness and the grief of that, because I've never dealt with death before. So my mother's death was my first experience of death.
Wow.
And that was really full on for me.
I can imagine, you know, I can only imagine, you know.
Yeah.
Just easy. So death period. But then, you know, someone, you know, your mom, that's just it's just different, you know. So I applaud you for sharing that part of your journey, for being transparent, you know, and just talking about it, you know, because it's not easy, you know. I really do.
No, and the thing is that it's really difficult to talk about. It's difficult to find out about this stuff, because it's not like the best sellers out there about grief. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not about that.
Nobody's writing about that.
Nobody's writing about it. I mean, they are, but they're not popular. And
right.
But yeah, what the fuck? You know, it's like I'm feeling like shit. I just felt that I was quite really overwhelmed by the experience that I was having. And I know that not everyone is going to feel that way about their mum or their dad or a parent figure. But for me, it really, I think, was something that I wanted to share, because it made me also realize that I was in denial that death, such a thing as death, really did occur, because I've been living in this like fantasy world that I'm going to live forever, and you know, and they're going to find a cure for death in my generation, in my time. The scientists are going to find a cure for fatness and death.
Everything.
The important things, not cancer. Forget about that. It's shit like vampire shit, living forever. Right. You know, eternity of happiness and hedonism headed my way. But and my mother she had a terminal illness, but a few years ago she was diagnosed, and she wanted to talk to me about it. And I couldn't have those conversations with her at all. I'd shut her down. It's like, I don't want to talk about this, Mum. I said, you're gonna talk yourself into death. Stop talking about it.
Yeah.
Because I'm a real believer in, you know, kind of manifesting things through thoughts.
Yeah, me too. I'm big on that.
I really believe that. So it was I wasn't there when she died. I was actually in an exam. So I had a lot of guilt. I had a lot of guilt about that. But it's nothing's perfect in life, is it?
No, and stuff like that, unexpected things, you know what I mean? It's you have to find your grounding again. You have to get back on your feet. It's kind of like the wind gets knocked out of you, right? And you've got to work and process how to stand back up again. How do I do this, without, someone who was like a pillar of strength for me? My grandmother passed away at 50 from cancer. And it shook our family to the core because she was so young, and she was one of the pillars of our family, and cancer sucks. They go from being okay one minute to, she was in remission, and then all of a sudden it came back, with vengeance, and it attacked and it spread throughout our whole body, and so those type of things are like, wow, how do you get your grounding again? And so I applaud you for sharing, and and then we all have that guilt where it's like, man, I could have, but you grow from it. You learn from it and you share. And that's, for me, that's what's healing, is when you're able to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
Help somebody else,
And you do that a lot with your things. Especially, I like there was that one that I saw last night that was about, you're in the car and you were just talking about when people say something, believe them. It was that one about, and it was still with relationships, but it could be anything. It's like, if someone says that they don't want to have a relationship with you, and you're a booty call, or you're just a casual bit on the side or whatever, and they're telling you they don't want a relationship, that's what they're saying. It's like, that's what they're saying.
Come on.
They're not even lying about it. They're not even putting in some effort and giving a glass of wine and.
Honey, it's so true. And guys nowadays let either through their words or their actions. And, we as women, we think, oh, wow, I'll make them see that I'm the one. They don't want the one. They don't want it, And so it's making a decision to say, okay, you know what? I hear you. I see you. And let me go on about my business. If they say it, believe them. They mean it.
That's right. And this is something that I do have a lot of women that message me and talk about their relationship stuff, and I'm probably not very good at like telling women to stay with somebody like that, because I'm just not going to. Like, I'm just going to come from my perspective, which is I wouldn't fucking put up with it for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like, you got to be, and I think young women, it's younger people, they need role models. They need people like you to tell it to them straight, and I think that sometimes because when I try to tell it to them straight, they can feel hurt, they can feel like I'm being a bitch, but it's like, I'm not being a bitch. You can't control everything. You can't make somebody different as much as we want.
Come on now. As much as you try, as much as you try to change yourself. There was something I read that I lost my mind waiting for you to find yours, and I was like,
wow.
You know what I mean? Because so many times we're trying to fight and make this person see and understand, who you are, and they're not even, you lose yourself, trying to be there for somebody else. And so I can't, I'm like, I refuse, because I've been there, and that's why it's so important,
Yeah, I think it's probably when I was a teenager, that was probably more me, but I snapped out of that real quick, because probably just the way that I was brought up was to focus more on something that's more mutually beneficial, and but I believe that a lot of it is ego. It's not even about the other person. It's really about, why doesn't that person like me?
Yeah.
And we get along really well, but there's some people that would say, I'm a fucking bitch. I'm horrible. It really depends. It's obviously, we're all different with different people. And even I feel that, well, I might cut people off or be a bitch because they've done something that I feel that it's just too much. You know, they really insulted me. They've whatever it may be. It's we're all different with different people, and I think the ego is the thing that we've just got to understand. Well, somebody just doesn't like me.
Yeah, I'm gonna make them, right? I'm gonna, they're gonna see, and it's like, no. Hey,
I've got plenty of tricks. Surely this outfit will surely grab you, or maybe this little thing will do it for you. But and I think women too, we can be different to men. We are different to men. We're not the same. We might be similar, but there's differences. I think women can think. Women. Some people might feel that, well, if I'm interested, you should be interested. But attraction doesn't really work that way, does it? No. It's like a mutual thing. It's not just a one-way thing.
It has to be. It has to be. I mean, it has to be a mutual thing, and it won't work if it's not.
That's it. And I think what makes it really hard for women is that they think, yeah, but this person still likes me. It's like this person might like banging you, and that's they're able to do that, but they don't want everything else that goes with it.
That's right. And as women, we get emotionally invested, and men are very, physical, so they can do the wham, bam, and be gone. But, we're emotional creatures. And so if you haven't mastered yourself, you'll get caught up,
That's not to say that we can't be like that either, because we can.
Oh, no, we can.
We can
yes,
be
we
like
can,
that.
Honey. Come on now. Yes, we can.
You don't have to tell me, and I've been there. I've been the one. Hello, how are you? It's like, oh, I was asleep. It's like, well, you're not now. It's like, well, I'm popping back into your life at this hour.
I get it. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do at whatever time in your life. You might find yourself making those phone calls or text messages, and rudely awakening gentlemen who are just sleeping peacefully all alone in their bedroom, their cat in the next room, or whatever the fuck they've got,
Right.
But not you and me and I. We're not like that. We're a bit deeper, aren't we?
Oh my gosh, on so many levels.
We're grown-ups. We don't do that stuff
at all.
At all. No. Because it usually doesn't we know that it doesn't sort of end well to sort of I don't like those sort of things